Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
Hello, kids, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Tales in the year of our Lord, September 2023. World is away. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that West Coast owl himself. It is.
That's right. Justin the Owl swooping back into the West Coast sphere.
That's right, kids. This time we'll be talking the first two issues of the ongoing West Coast Avengers series, and along with Vision and the Scarlet Witch 1 and 2. They tie in.
Yes. Especially number 2. That's a direct tie.
Definitely number 2, yeah.
Yeah, it picks up right where we left off.
Although we are going to get the West Coast Avengers 3 one day. I mean, you see that cover, Tigra versus Kraven.
Oh, yeah. I love that one. There's some gold in that first year of West Coast Avengers for sure. We should cover that whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Hello, Russell.
Hey, Russell.
Taste the O-ring. Taste the bitterness of the O-ring. You're about yourself? I was going to say, why are you bitter? You're not even married yet. Want to start promoting some O-rings or something?
That you dick.
Oh. What's this, Russell? Jeez. I got lots of O-rings.
Oh my.
Oh my. O-rings, O-faces, oh my.
Oh my.
All right. So Russell, I was telling Justin before we jumped on, I picked up some back issues yesterday. I picked up some more today because most of my haul was I was getting some Transformers and G.I. Joe to prepare for our upcoming Energon Universe podcast, our month when the new Transformers comes out. So yeah, I picked up some of the IDW stuff and all that.
Oh, the IDW, nice. Okay.
I picked up a few like like some Marvel stuff. Like I got like 2 issues of classic X-Men, and then
oh, nice.
Yeah, I got an issue of new Defenders.
Oh, the new Defenders.
Yeah. Yes, but I saw something. I've talked about it on and off on this podcast for years. I've never seen this in the wild since it was brand new in 1991.
Okay.
I only found 1 issue, so of course I had to pick it up.
All right.
And of course it was issue 3 of NFL Super Pro.
I almost had a feeling it was Super Pro.
I read it. It's as good as you think it is.
Is that your only issue of Super Pro so far? Do you
have
others?
No, that's
okay.
This is
the beginning of your collection.
Russell, cue the NFL jingle. No, get sued. No.
I've been waiting all day for a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's why this isn't reprinted anywhere, kids. Because yes, I believe it's in collaboration with the NFL. There's that logo. So
from football hero to superhero.
When does Transformers #1 come out? I told you, Russell. I think it's October 4th. So about 1 month. Yes.
Energon Universe is coming soon.
That's right.
It'll be out before the Lost Library of Legends says.
Oh, please. My son is 10. He's going to graduate from college before Lost Library of Legends comes out.
He'll have a doctorate before then.
I'm gonna have grandkids before you guys release that thing.
But it's a time travel experiment, you see, so it'll all be on time.
Grandpa, tell us about the Lost Library of Legends. Well, it should come out any day now. Now let me blow out all 65 of these candles.
I released the podcast. It's like 300 episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's gonna
I've
come
been
first?
banking them up for years.
What's gonna come first? The Lost Library of Legends or my retirement?
We shall see.
It'll be nice to have something to listen to when I retire. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, something to pass the golden years.
He always says that, Russell. Listen to an episode of Gamma Charge from last year, and Justin
Last
said Lost
year
Library was coming later this year, later this month.
Yeah.
He's-
I love it. You could apply that logic to any of the episodes in the last couple of years.
Russell, I've been broadcasting with him all year, and all I hear is later this month or
Later
next
this
month,
month.
or next month. You know,
This month for sure.
just say January, so then we'll just be like, okay, well, what year?
Yeah, exactly. Which decade? We'll pin it down to a decade. We'll try to do that maybe.
You made me lose my train of thought, Russell. Yes, NFL Super Player had to fight the deadly menace of instant replay.
Instant replay. Oh no.
Guy could like teleport. I think he did weird things with time with this suit, but you know what? I thought it was so funny because like the suit gets like short circuited and like the teleporter malfunctions. So who knows what happened? I mean, he probably crumpled into a black hole. But I was like, how funny would that be if it was just like like he got spit out in 2023 somewhere?
Oh, how times have changed, Super Pro.
I could see Spider-Man. I have to deal with the Super Pros rejects, but I don't know if they can even mention it, because again, if that was in collaboration with the NFL.
Yeah. Instant replay, I don't think has seen any other appearances since then.
That's what I'm saying. Any like original character from this they probably can't even use.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, I told Will, yeah, it wasn't the best, but I almost want to get them all just to the completest in me. Just to be like, I have strange bragging rights. Like I have all the NFL Super Pros.
Yeah. Who knows? Someday they might actually be some type of weird collector's item.
That's what I'm thinking. I did see people online trying to sell like a whole complete set for like, was it $100 or a little more?
Oh, really? Wow.
But again, which again, you think about it, it's like they have never reprinted them. I mean, unless they work some magic with the NFL, they're probably never going to be reprinted. So
never on the app. Yeah,
they could. They could be worth something. Just be, especially if. Depending if people trash their copies, who knows how many copies are left. Because like I said, this is the first time I've seen this in the wild since I saw it on it.
Yeah.
I used to see the series on the spinner rack when it was brand new in the early 80s, but that was it.
I haven't seen those in any dollar bins in any comic shop I've ever been to. It's so weird. So I keep expecting to see it turn up somewhere. But...
So that's what I'm wondering, if it was a low print run or if people just like
maybe
threw them away or something.
Yeah. Burned them. Or maybe they loved them so much that they held on to their copies. They said, you know what? I'm not going to sell these on eBay. I love Super Pro so much that I can't bear to part with it.
Or like they were burning those instead of like the city when the Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. It was whatever. I'm from Pittsburgh. I can say it.
Riots in the street.
Look at Russell. Burn all the Hulk 2099.
Yeah. I will agree with that.
I guarantee you can, if you search, probably don't have to do that hard of a search, Russell. You could probably find some Hulk 2099s.
Oh God, yeah. I've definitely seen those in dollar bins. Yeah. Those are very easy to find.
Oh yeah, so I'm getting excited. I for our Transformers and GI Joe.
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun.
Oh yeah,
the John universe.
Yes, but speaking of the West Coast Avengers, we're doing tonight. I almost pulled the trigger on it today. I saw in GameStop. Now I say this, watch, I'll either go back and get it or order it online. I think I sent it to you guys. I saw it in the wild. The Marvel Legends figure, Hawkeye on the Sky Cycle.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
almost bought it. It was like $50.
Oh.
I was like,
Oh,
oh,
$50. Damn.
yeah. I was like,
I
oh,
want that too. Yeah, that looks so good.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you can never pose them exactly as they do in the box, but they got them like standing on the cycle, like reaching for an arrow or something.
Yeah, in mid-action. I love
Yeah.
it. So good. Yeah, I eventually want to get an entire West Coast Avengers classic lineup in the
You know what?
figures.
I was almost halfway there because they had that at GameStop today, and I saw the Wonder Man in the red safari jacket. They
Mhm.
also had him there today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there is a Tigra figure, right? Or
Yes,
is there?
I have seen a Tiger figure at other places too. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could do that.
I think the only one that we're missing.
There's got to be Silver Centurion Iron Man.
I
figure
feel like
somewhere,
there's one of those too. I think that one's going for a mint now, but I don't know. I don't think there's been a Mockingbird figure yet.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm gonna look that up now.
That's what
'Cause
I'm doing.
I don't remember ever seeing one in any of my searches, but maybe they've done one.
Oh, okay. There's even there's a 5. I think I saw this before, and I questioned it, but
Oh, there's one.
there-
Okay.
there's a 5-figure West Coast Avengers set,
Oh, really?
but instead of Hawkeye and Wonder Man, you get Hank Pym in the red jumpsuit and Julie
Oh,
Carpenter as Spider
yeah.
Woman.
Yes. Actually, I think Russell maybe sent me that link or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So I mean, if you work it, you could
Oh.
get like the original roster plus
Yeah.
plus a Julia
Ooh.
Carpenter
I
Spider
wonder
Woman.
how much that 5-pack is going for. Probably a
On
couple
Amazon,
$100.
it's going for 125.
Ugh, all right.
Yeah, I know.
Start saving up my pennies.
I know. They're freaking expensive.
Ugh.
I remember today, I'm thinking, why didn't they have these when we were kids?
I know. I would love to have. I would have played with those for hours, reenacting the battles from the comic books and stuff. Yeah. 7-year-old me would have been all over those action figures.
Shut up, Ultron, before I kick you off the couch.
That's right.
Oh, there's Hawkeye on the Sky Cycle. It's like $3 cheaper, and I saw it on Amazon. It's like $3 cheaper.
And free shipping.
This ain't helping me. This ain't helping me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Hawkeye was Sky Cycle. Yeah, there's the pose. There's the pose.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, he's reaching for the arrow. So good.
And if you like Hawkeye, kids, stay tuned for next year.
That's right. We will be having a special spotlight on the Avenging Archer himself.
And again, I mean, when's the last time any of the characters use that Sky Cycle? I'm like, they're not making these for like the younger crowd. They're making them for us because.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time any Avenger used that Sky Cycle? I mean, Grunwald was still alive, for God's sake.
Yeah. I haven't seen that Sky Cycle in years.
Decades.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
All right. I think we can get into the comics. Russell left. All right. So I believe it goes West Coast Avengers #1, Vision and the Scarlet Witch #1, West Coast Avengers 2, Vision and the Scarlet Witch #2.
Right. Yep.
All right. So West Coast Avengers #1 for October 1985. Teammates. Writer Steve Englehart, penciler Al Milgrom, inker Joe Sinnott, colorist Petra Scotus, letterer Tom Orzowski, and editor Mark Grunwald. The late great Mark Grunwald.
Yes. One of our favorites.
Heck yeah. You were talking about birthday months next year. Oh, we should do a Grunwald month.
We should do a Grunwald month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Captain America, Quasar. He did some Marvel 2-in-1.
It was Squadron Supreme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Let's do it. When was his birthday? We could do it on his birthday month.
Oh, I gotta look it up.
Let's
I'll
see.
have to look that up. Yeah, make it so.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right.
June.
What is it? June.
June.
Oh, okay. I'll have to do some fancy moving around and stuff, but yeah, but we'll do it sometime.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Yes. All right. It'll be like the anti-Frank Miller month.
Right.
Frank Miller, kids.
Your mother's a whore.
It's like she never left. Dr. Hank Pym visits the new compound of the West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye wants him to join the team and fill the open 6th slot, but Hank merely wants to examine Goliath, a recent prisoner being held at the compound. Outside was at the Iron Man annual. I think Charlie and I might have covered that, so yeah, I'll have to put a link to that.
Oh yeah, that was Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, there was an issue. That wasn't the Iron Man annual. I think we did cover an issue because they do like Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Mockingbird fight him again in an Iron Man regular issue.
Oh yeah, it is a regular issue. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what happens in that annual.
Yeah, I can't remember the annual either.
I think it's related.
Well, they fight Goliath.
Yeah, it happened sometime that year.
Yeah. Outside, Wonder Man, Tigra, and Iron Man find themselves as prey for a squad of flying robots. They easily take the robots apart, but have no idea why they were attacked. The three reconvene inside with Hawkeye and Mockingbird. They trace the surviving robot's homing signal to San Pedro and hop in the Quinjet to go take them down. Investigating a docked ship, the Avengers find that their foe responsible for the attack is Ultron 12. Remember the days when they numbered Ultron's kids?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great if they just would have kept numbering.
Yeah.
We're like,
we'd be up to like 77 by now. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Oh, can you imagine? We'd have a little Hellfire on here to cover the debut of Ultron 69.
Either do the 6 or do the
9. The most powerful Ultron ever.
Adamantium 69. That's what Lil's building in her basement. Why do you think she took a month off, kids? Oh my god, a sex bomb made out of adamantium.
Wouldn't have to worry about any rust.
Best there is at what it does, bub. Hawkeye has the most experience fighting Ultron and coordinates his team to evade Ultron's deadly gas and energy attacks. But Ultron has merely baited the Avengers into a trap. His true quarry is back at the Avengers compound. The Avengers escape from Ultron's steel maze traps and rush back to HQ. They arrive before Ultron does. They think that Ultron is after Hank Pym, but the robot is not yet aware that Pym is even present. Ultron has an ally in his cause, the Man Ape. The Man Ape breaks into the compound to free Goliath. He tangles with Tigra while Ultron invades the top level of the compound. Goliath is freed and the three villains dogpile on top of the Avengers. Goliath smashes Wonder Man, knocking him out. Apparently, Ultron has another Confederate who has expressed an interest in Wonder Man. The three villains fly off with the unconscious Hank Pym and Wonder Man. Hawkeye quickly figures out who the mastermind behind this attack is. Wonder Man's brother, the Grim Reaper.
Yay!
So, thoughts, Justin?
I love this one so much. This is one of my favorites. I got this when it came out, and I read it so much that the cover came off.
Wow!
I still have my coverless copy somewhere in my box somewhere with all these other issues. But yeah, I just love it. It's a great team. It's a great lineup. It starts off with some excellent action where all of a sudden Wonder Man and Tiger are flying on, having this lovely romantic moment, and then Iron Man just kind of whizzes past them and smashes into this big horde of robots that's right behind them. It's so great. It's such a great sequence. I still love it. It's so good. And the part where they go to Ultron's warehouse and all those mechanical like arms are coming out of all the metal girders around them and bashing them and stuff. It's a great, all that stuff is so good. It's such a, and it's so different too in tone from the East Coast Avengers book.
Mhm.
It was so different. I loved how the art was different, the characters were obviously different, but the tone of the story too was different. I really liked that. It appealed to little 7 or 8-year-old me, however old I was when this came out. It appealed to me a lot. And I fell in love with this team. I thought that they were great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I came to this later. I have the floppy of this, but I mean, I love this Englehart era of Avengers, the West Coast Avengers.
Yeah. The only thing that sometimes chafes me about Steve Englehart stuff is that he always has to have the character. If it's a team book, especially, there has to be some romantic entanglement between the team members. Like there always has to be some romantic soap opera drama going on with the team members, and that it kind of gets a little annoying sometimes. Like even to the with the Malibu stuff, the strangers and the Ultraverse, like having them date each other. Like I don't know why that keeps cropping up in a lot of the stuff, but it reminded me like Tigra was hopping from one team member to the next in the first year of this book. Like she was in a relationship with Wonder Man first, and then as soon as Hank Pym steps through the door, she's like all over him, and it's just it. I don't know. It seems weird to me.
I mean, that was kind of a trope sometimes in comics, but I mean, wasn't it kind of like they were doing that intentionally because like her like cat
Cat persona,
yeah,
right? And I get it. You know, cats are going to do whatever they want. I get it, but as a kid reading that, I was like, "What's going on here?"
yeah.
I thought she was with Wonder Man. Why is she all over Hank Pym?
But
I didn't have a frame of reference too about what she was going through with the cat people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that was the other thing, like when she was telling Mockingbird like her origin and stuff, and basically like I was like a feminist, and now all these cat instincts are taking over, and I want to like cop in the bed with men and all these men and stuff, and just
yeah.
But when she was like telling her origin as the cat and stuff, I'm like, oh, we should cover some of that.
We should. I've got that Tigra Complete collection that.
Oh, really?
That reprints a lot of that old stuff, including that 4-issue series, The Cat. It's so good. Yeah, we should definitely cover that. And she has her own solo stuff too, so scattered around the years. It's really good. Yeah, I'm always up to cover Tiger. That would be a good excuse to get Ray on again.
Oh yeah.
All we have to do is mention Tiger, and Ray will be on.
We should do like an evolution of Tiger month. Like started from the cat and do some of her early appearances. Yeah, get up.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I'd love that.
You can already hear Ray saying, "Oh, what day? What day?" Mentioning me. What day? What day? See, the Iron Man armor looks good here, but I was gonna say I don't know. Sometimes in this book, it almost seemed like that Silver Centurion armor looked kind of like too bulky.
Yeah. And in some of these early issues of West Coast Avengers, yeah, Al Milgrom kind of made him look really bulky for some reason. Yeah,
I think that the Silver Centurion armor more than most of the other Iron Man armors, it's one of those costumes where it's like certain artists can get it and other artists just don't.
Yeah. I always thought that Bob Layton did the best Silver Centurion. Yeah, and I liked Mark Bright's rendition of that armor too a lot. Yeah.
And I love how like Englehart plays with like history and like even if it's just like a one-liner, because like when they're in the lab checking out Goliath and Hawkeye's like, yeah, it's like basically 3 Goliaths in this room because Hawkeye was Goliath for a while.
Right. They should take a picture together.
Exactly.
Something for the photo album. Yeah. You could get Bill Foster in there.
Oh yeah.
Have all 4 Goliaths.
I don't know, but some of these early issues, I mean, like again, that's intentional too. But I'm just like, I hate when they write Wonder Man like a jerk,
Yeah.
like a chip on his shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't understand when they've done that a couple of times too. They've flip-flopped with that, especially with the whole Vision stuff, like the Vision's mind patterns, or the Wonder Man's mind patterns in the Vision's body, and so on and so forth. They've flip-flopped with that a few times over the years. Yeah, it's weird.
Just because Wonder Man's like, oh, are we gonna leave Hank Pym here by himself? It's like, what's he gonna do?
Right. He's a founding member of the Avengers. If you can't trust Hank Pym, who can you trust? I mean, this was kind of after the whole Yellow Jacket stuff, and they do reference that. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like he was the same Hank Pym from the early Avengers days, but still.
Because he even said, I mean, he's pretty much gotten over whatever nervous breakdown or whatever he had, but he even says, like, I don't want to be a superhero. He's like, but I'll stay, you guys go, you only have 5 members. I'll stay here and watch the monitor.
Yeah. I'll stay and watch the farm. Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, that he wanted some time off from putting on a spandex costume.
Well, again, it's like that's the big part that he says, what caused his breakdown or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't want to be reminded of the darkest chapter of his life.
And I'm trying to remember Avengers 171 that they reference here. I'm like, what kind of gas immunizes that you against power blasts?
The one that Hawkeye shoots into the...
I'm like, what kind of gas makes you immune to lasers?
This is something they serve at Taco Bell, maybe.
I mean, I could see, like, maybe you could say, oh, if you're like taking something for like radiation, but it's like the actual physical concussive force. I'm like, what's gas gonna do?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. It talks about like ionic radiation, something to that effect. But still, yeah, it's weird. And how he shot that one arrow like in this exact precise place when all the metal girders were attacking them.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he could have done a bunch of them, but yeah, he uses his arrow to jam the mechanism. Yeah,
I love that part. I still think that's so good.
Cause I love that. Yeah, because all these adamantium rods are just coming out, and like they have to try to dodge him. And Wonder Man's like telling Ultron, "This ain't gonna kill me." He's like, "I know. When the rest of them are dead, I'm gonna come back for you."
Right? Yeah. It doesn't have to kill you, but your teammates aren't gonna do so well. And Tiger's able to dodge them all, but yeah, it's a great little sequence. I love that sequence of the warehouse. It's so cool.
Oh, and then Hank has when the Wasp calls, basically has to like, oh no, I'm here. She's like, are you joining the team? No.
No. Yeah, I like Tiger's fight with M'Baku too. I really like that. Yeah, and now that we read last time that Tigra can lift 10 tons, like when I see her fight now in these comics, I'm like, oh yeah, she actually, yeah. Because I only thought that she was like Spider-Man level, or like less than Spider-Man level, I should say. But yeah, when she punches him right in the face, I'm like, ew, that gotta hurt.
Yeah, this era of man-ape costume, I tell you what.
Oh man, yeah.
Like a gorilla top, including like a hoodie, and then
like the tasseled boots.
Yes. Well, the tasseled, is that shorts or is that like a toga or something?
I don't know. Oh, it's very 60s.
But
It's very 60s.
meanwhile, we're in the 80s. I know.
Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of old white men writing African garb.
I'm glad that they've modernized his look in the comics now. It looks much better. Yeah. But yeah, the fight at the end was great. I love that panel where Iron Man and Ultron are blasting each other,
Mhm.
kind of at a stalemate. So then they just start wailing on each other hand to hand. I love that part. It's such a good little fight.
Mhm. I know. The other day I was talking to Lilith. I think I might have said we are doing this. She said she can never get into like the regular Avengers, like the West Coast Avengers, because we're like trying to pin it down. Where it's just like,
Mhm.
well, yeah. Think about how crazy this is when, in like issues like this where it's like your leader and voice of reason is Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
The voice of reason, exactly. It's
Yeah.
yeah, and a strategist.
That's when you know it's getting crazy.
Yes, exactly. And the lineup of the team too. I mean, Wonder Man, as you said, he's written sometimes kind of as a jerk, on occasion, depending
Mhm.
on who's writing him. And in this period of time, he was kind of written like that. Iron Man had just come back to the fore after, or the Tony Stark Iron Man, I should say,
Yeah.
after being dealing with his own stuff for a while. And you had Tigra, who was going through her own personal struggles with her cat people, her cat side taking over, and the newlyweds Hawkeye and Mockingbird. I mean, it really shouldn't have worked. It's quite a volatile combo, but it did work.
That's what I was just thinking. It's so weird because it's like, once again, Iron Man's, this Tony Stark's back. He's a founding member of the Avengers, and he's taking orders from Hawkeye.
Right? I know. Yeah, yeah. Like, it shouldn't have worked, but it totally did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ultron can't siphon the power from Iron Man. Iron Man armor like he did the old suit.
Mm-hmm. He's made some upgrades.
All right. So, any other thoughts on this, or should we get to the Vision and Scarlet Witch?
No, yeah, I think we covered that adequately. Yeah, I love this issue. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. I love this one.
And I think we started here talking about, Simon Williams' like previous embezzlement.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and some other stuff comes up later on too that he did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So remember that, kids.
Yeah.
All right. Your camera's frozen.
Oh,
I can't.
Yeah. Oh man. I guess my connection's a little wonky tonight.
He's not sleeping, kid. He's not sleeping, kids. He's awake.
Yes, I'm still alive. I'm not stroking out.
Hey-oh.
Hey-oh. Not yet, anyway.
All right. So the Vision and the Scarlet Witch, #1. Again, this is volume 2 because they had a 4-issue miniseries before this, and then this one was 12.
Yeah, this was what they used to call a maxi series.
Yes.
Back in the day, were like 6 issues.
I know. Back when they told you right on the cover how many was in the series.
Right. Yeah. #1 of 12. Yep.
All right. So yeah, Vision and the Scarlet Witch, #1 from October 1985. Oh yeah, the West Coast Avengers #1 and this one were both like bigger issues because this is 48 pages.
Mm.
Yep. Lovers. And of course, it crossed over because writer Steve Englehart again.
Yep.
Penciler Richard Howe, inker Andy Mashinsky, colorist Janet Jackson and Adam Phillips, letterer L. Lois Buhalis, and editor Jim Salicrup. Fed up with Gyric's treatment of Justin's favorite. Fed up with Gyric's treatment of their rights. Vision and Wanda renounced their Avengers membership and set out to live as private citizens. They returned to Leonia, where their previous house was burned down by their bigoted neighbors, and start to defiantly purchase a new home in the same area. receiving support from their new realtor, Norm Webster. However, while they're looking at their prospective property, zombies swarm into the yard to attack them. Vision attempts to phase through them, but it causes him intense pain and causes him to repeatedly shut down while the other zombies overcome and abduct Wanda. She's taken back to the zombies' master, Black Talon, and his ally, Nekra. They restrain Wanda, but fail to notice that she has a finger free to cast a small hex, and she gets to work gradually freeing herself. Vision manages to overcome his pain and separate from the zombie he had been stuck inside, and makes it lead him to Talon's base. Then disguises himself as a zombie to infiltrate it. The Grim Reaper, Talon, and Nekra's sponsor soon arrive to examine their progress, only to find both Vision and Wanda are free and prepared to fight. The Scarlet Witch uses her powers to disrupt Black Talon's control over his zombies, and Vision braves the pain to phase through them to reach a tent that the Reaper's flunkies had been protecting, and is shocked to find a body resembling Simon Williams prior to his transformation to Wonder Man.
How can this be?
Vision threatens Reaper with Simon's life, even as he holds Wanda hostage. They agree to break the standoff as the villains retreat with Simon, and Vision and Wanda are reunited. Following a hunch about the Reaper's scheme, Vision calls the West Coast Avengers and learns that they had been attempting to reach him all day following an attack by the Lethal Legion and the abduction of Wonder Man and Hank Pym. All right, thoughts?
Love this one. Love
Yes.
this one too. I actually didn't read this one when it came out initially. It was a few years later, but I still love it. Great artwork, great story as well. And of course, I love the part where Wanda gives Gyrich the business. She's like, you've been questioning my husband for 14 hours. We're going home. You can't stop us. And she basically flips him off at the end. I love it. I thought that was great. Yeah. And also, it was also good to see Nekra and the Black Talon. I thought they were great characters, great villains.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole Lethal Legion, I thought, was a great little team of villains.
Oh, yeah.
But I also liked how during the course of this issue, we get a couple of origin stories for both the Vision and the Scarlet Witch at separate points in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, is nice for any new readers at the time in 1985 who maybe were picking this up and might not know anything about the Vision of the Scarlet Witch. I thought that was clever.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they didn't just take it for granted, that the casual reader picking this up knew who these people were and knew their whole backstory as well.
Yeah, see, this is the issue. The art is good, but yeah, that Iron Man armor is looking bulky here.
Yeah, and the kind of the face as well is kind of weird. Yeah, I like how there's a little segue with the West Coast Avengers, and Tiger and Hawkeye are talking, and Tiger says, "You don't want to get the East Coast group involved in this," and Hawkeye's like, "No, I want to show them that we can stand on our own 2 feet." And Tiger's like, "Yeah, you don't want to tell Janet that Ultron kidnapped Hank."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah, you probably got a point about that." I don't want to tell her that.
Of course I know.
Yeah, can't quite say I blame him. That would not go over well.
But yeah, again, I mean, for the most part, this aged well, but you could tell, I mean, how old this is when little Scarlet Witch throws down their Avengers ID cards and they're signed by Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yeah. Ronald Reagan. I love that, yeah.
Because I remember by the 90s, they had, so you could see some of the cards and they were signed by William Jefferson Clinton, yeah.
I guess you could say they've been grandfathered in. Yeah, I love that part too, where she throws the Avengers membership IDs down. We quit. Yeah.
I'm like, did they get a new card every time there was a new president? I'm like, those things have got to be expensive, I mean, they're communicators.
Every time there's a new president on his first day in office, oh, we know you got a lot on your plate, but you also have to you have to signature all of these Avengers membership ID cards, and there's like 50 of them. So
Well,
get to
yeah,
work.
eventually. Well, who's this rage fella?
Sandman's an Avenger now. Squirrel Girl.
Oh, trying to think who is the most ridiculous Avengers member. Who's the most ridiculous Avengers member?
The most ridiculous one.
Yeah, the one you couldn't believe.
I always thought the Red Hulk being in the Avengers.
Well, yeah. Well, at that point, everyone was becoming an Avenger.
I know, but
That was the Bendis effect after everybody.
yeah. Doctor Strange and Daredevil and Wolverine. Yeah,
because I think it was downhill after Wolverine became an Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
Bendis.
Yeah. That's when the wheels fell off the cart. Yeah, I would say probably Red Hulk would be my vote for the most ridiculous Avenger. Just because what? Why? You crazy? Like,
it's pretty much it. Yeah. I was gonna say at that point, everyone was pretty much an Avenger. Even if you're already like, I swear, like half the X-Men were Avengers.
Yeah.
All the Fantastic Four had been at
all of them. Yeah, except has Johnny been?
I think was it later on, like in the 20 teens, maybe. I mean, it took a while, but I think he actually maybe for 5 minutes he was on an Avengers team.
Okay, because for a while he was the only one who hadn't been out of the others. Yeah, they might as well just make everybody Avengers in Marvel now. If you got a costumed alias and you're a superhero, you're an honorary Avenger. You're in. Because you're gonna get there eventually.
I love it. It's like, oh, how do you draw the West Coast Avengers headquarters? I just draw a house or two and draw some palm trees behind it. Yeah, there you
go. and a big staircase leading down to a gorgeous beach. Posh living.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on this one?
No, I love this one. Yeah, the zombie fight was cool. I really liked the artwork. I like the artist drawing the Vision the Scarlet Witch the best. Like the other characters look okay, but his rendition of those two is spot on.
I like the cover of this one.
Yeah, all the covers on all these Vision and Scarlet Witch issues are really good. Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna jump back to the West Coast Avengers number 2. Yep. All right. West Coast Avengers number 2 from November 1985. Sons. Steve Englehart, Al Milgram again. Inker Kim DeMalder, I think it's a different inker.
Yep.
Everyone else is the same. All right.
Yep.
Here we go. Hawkeye, Iron Man, and Tigra visit the Vision and Scarlet Witch, who are staying at a motel in Leonia, New Jersey. Hold on. My screen just jumped. Well, they look for a house. Hawkeye explains why he felt it was necessary to meet, recapping the events over the last couple of days. He explains that yesterday morning, Hank Pym showed up at Avengers compound to take a look at Goliath, the villain who they recently fought and captured. Shortly after, they were attacked by Ultron along with Man-Ape. Ultron was able to free Goliath and capture Pym and Wonder Man. The Vision tells the group that he and the Scarlet Witch were attacked by an army of zombies commanded by the Black Talon and Nekra. They had tried to capture him, but settled for Wanda. When the Vision went to rescue his wife, he found in their lair a special zombie in the form of Simon Williams, a.k.a. Wonder Man. The attack on them was orchestrated by Simon's brother, the Grim Reaper. With both stories now in the open, Hawkeye and the others are able to fit the pieces together that Ultron and the Grim Reaper are working together, but their goals are still unknown. Elsewhere in New Jersey, the Grim Reaper has both Hank Pym and Wonder Man in a special holding cell designed to work against Simon's vast strength. The Grim Reaper displays his vast hatred for Wonder Man, calling him a freak and a mutation, and refusing to believe that the man is any relation to the Simon Williams he knew. He reveals he has his plans to them, that once he has both Wonder Man and the Vision captive, he will use Ultron's computers to extract what was left of Simon Williams from their minds, which then the Black Talon will transpose into the brain of the Simon zombie. Ultron threatens that once the Grim Reaper is through with the Vision, he will kill both his synthetic son and his father, Hank. Ultron then leaves in search of the Vision. The Avengers fly their Quinjet to Paterson, New Jersey, and to the abandoned Williams manufacturing plant where Simon once worked before he became Wonder Man. Tigra had no idea that Simon was once an inventor and businessman, and Iron Man explains to her that at one time Simon was a strong competitor against Stark Industries, and that bad business practices and an embezzlement charge ruined him and his company. It was these events that led to Simon accepting the invitation from Baron Zemo to change him into Wonder Man so that he could exact his revenge on Stark by attacking Iron Man and the Avengers. But Simon switched sides, fighting with the Avengers against the Masters of Evil and sacrificing himself to protect the Avengers. Tigra refuses to believe that Simon could ever have been a criminal. The Avengers make their way into the town of Paterson, into the house where Simon and his brother Eric grew up. Iron Man explains that Stark used to pay their mother an annuity during the time that Simon was dead, and that his mother may have some clues as to their whereabouts. Mrs. Williams invites the Avengers in, explaining that she knows what is going on and why they have come to her. She tells them of Simon and Eric's childhood growing up together. They had a hard childhood with a strict father, with Eric excelling at sports and Simon in academics. Simon eventually took over Williams manufacturing from his father, but when Stark Industries overtook them, he turned to Eric for help. Eric has associated himself with a Magia crime family. Remember, kids, not mafia, Magia. And at first tried to use rough tactics against the government and competitors, but was unable to make a difference. So he stole from the company what he could find and fled to Las Vegas, and Simon took the blame. Hawkeye promises Mrs. Williams that they'll do everything they can for Simon and Eric, and she bursts into tears, hoping that they can end the vendetta and give her back her sons. The Vision steps up, telling her that his mind was created using Simon's own brain patterns and that technically he is her son as well. She hugs him, thanking him for giving her the son she had thought was lost forever.
Aww. A tender moment.
Exactly. Back at the villain's lair, the Grim Reaper tells Nekra that he plans on killing both Wonder Man and the Vision for the insult on the memory of his true brother. Man-Ape enters, angering the Reaper enough to display his true bigotry against Man-Ape and blacks in general. When Nekra explains to him that she's black, he refuses to believe it due to her albino nature, telling her that she's the purest white he's ever known.
Yuck.
Oh no, baby, I can't tell when I'm banging you, so it's okay. Man-Ape rushes back to find the Black Talon, telling his ally that he can no longer work for a man who hates black skins. The two are outraged for being treated like slaves to the Grim Reaper. Hank Pym and Simon, still captive in the holding cage, notice the dissension in the ranks, hoping it might be the break they need to escape. Simon confides in Hank that he's afraid to die, even though he's been dead before, and that fear has lingered with him ever since he has returned from the grave the first time. It was the reason he kept quitting the Avengers in the first place. Hank tells him it's time to take a stand, and that only Simon can beat this fear for himself. The Avengers finally prepare to leave Paterson, and the Vision and Scarlet Witch say their goodbyes to Mrs. Williams, who is overjoyed to not only have her son back, but a new daughter-in-law as well. As the Quinjet takes off to follow the trail to Las Vegas, they are attacked in the air by Ultron 12 and his robot army, smashing their way into the cockpit. Thoughts?
Another cliffhanger ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this one in the art. I remember as a kid when I got this issue, this was one of the first issues where I kind of realized what a difference the inker makes in the artwork for these comic books. Because the first issue of West Coast Avengers, we had Joe Sinnott doing the inking for Al Milgrom, and in this issue it's Kim DeMulder, and it's very different. The artwork's very different looking. And I remember noticing that as a kid and thinking, okay, so that it does, the inker does make a big difference here. But I loved it. I like that we have some backstory with Simon, and we get to see his mom, like his mom and the Grim Reaper's mom, and there's that little tender moment with the Vision and stuff. I really like that. It was nice to see in a comic book like this. The Grim Reaper's like racist outburst though was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't remember. Was there any history of him being bigoted like in the past? I don't ever remember that.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't. Nothing's ringing a bell to me, but it's been a while since I read some of those early appearances.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't remember, but I remember thinking as I reread this that I wondered why that even happened. I mean, I get it. He's a bad guy. We're not supposed to like
Yeah.
him. But still, like that was a weird way to bust up the Lethal Legion, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that was the plot device to break up the Legion. Yeah.
Yeah, I just and the whole thing, it just I don't know. I remember as a kid thinking that was kind of severe, that whole sequence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but whatever.
It's so, and I thought it was weird when, like, where Iron Man's basically like talking about, Simon Williams, he used to be a competitor of Stark. It's so weird because almost like Iron Man's talking about Tony Stark like he's a different person. I'm like, isn't everyone with him know he's Tony Stark? So why is he referring to Tony Stark like he's a separate person?
Oh yeah. Well, I think this is when he was trying to keep up the secret image, wasn't it? The secret identity.
I thought that was after Armor Wars because we're not there yet. So I don't know.
I think this is when he was still trying to keep it. Oh, Iron Man's my bodyguard. I think this is when he was still.
Yeah, but I thought all the Avengers who were with him, I thought knew his identity though.
Oh, the Avengers? Yeah. I thought so too. Yeah.
Because he's just with Hawkeye, Tigra, Vision, and Scarlet Witch. I'm like, I think they all know who he is. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I thought even they were calling him Tony.
I know Vision called him Tony, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I assume if Vision knows he's Tony Stark, Scarlet Witch knows he's Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't reached Armor Wars yet, so I don't know why they're doing that. It's weird.
Unless he's just always does that so he doesn't slip up ever.
I guess maybe method acting to the extreme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is weird. Like, yeah, Man-Ape comes in while Grim Reaper and Nekra are like laying on like a giant
making out on the beanbags. And he like blasts the floor and tells him to get out. Like I just thought that whole sequence was really severe. I didn't think that was necessary.
I know. And when she's like, I'm black, he's like, don't say that. You're not black.
Don't say that. Yeah. You're the purest white I've ever known. Ugh. Yeah. Like I said, we're not supposed to like this guy, the Grim Reaper. He's a supervillain, and he's supposed to be one of the nastiest ones in the Marvel Universe. I get it. But we already have a bunch of racist supervillains. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
No, don't say that. I slept with you. No, don't say that. No.
Yeah. What did you think of this one, Phil?
I mean, I liked it. Yeah, but yeah, like you definitely, like you said about the inking and stuff. Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a difference here between the first issue.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's still good though. I mean, it's still good.
Yeah.
It's just a noticeable difference. Yeah.
Like especially you look at that last page. Yeah, you can tell there's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a great cliffhanger to leave that issue on. Yeah. And that made me, as a kid, it was really hard for me to keep up with the crossovers because I was buying these things from the spinner racks in stores and stuff, and in bookstores. They had comic book sections by the magazines and stuff. So those were my only resources to get comic books when I was a kid, when I was 7 or 8. But I made a conscious effort to try to find this Vision and the Scarlet Witch issue because I was like, I need to know what happens. That's too much of a cliffhanger. Like, I just read these last 2 issues of all this story. I need to know what happens here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like back in the day, like spinner rack days, it's like sometimes the stores ain't, the newsstands or the spinner racks didn't get every series, so it's like
right. And like this one, which was a mini series, the Vision the Scarlet Witch. Like, why would a spinner rack have something like that? Yeah, yeah.
All right, you ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah. Number 2.
All right. All right, so we're gonna get next final part. Vision and the Scarlet Witch, number 2. Yep, November 1985. Brothers. I think it's the same team as the first Vision and Scarlet Witch. Ultron's aerial attack on the Quinjet results in the capture of most of the remainder of the West Coast Avengers, plus Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Remember, kids, most.
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 Yes. Most, not all.
At the Lethal Legion's hideout, the Grim Reaper explains his plan to harvest the pure essence of Simon Williams from the minds of Wonder Man and the Vision and to transplant into the zombie body he had made to look like Simon. Wonder Man is nearly caught up in his fear of mortality again, but manages to fight back once he's brought out of containment to begin the procedure. Mockingbird, the one Avenger that wasn't on the jet at the time of their capture, arrives from tracking the Quinjet's radio signal to free the others, and a brawl ensues. At this point, Man-Ape and Black Talon abandon Grim Reaper, maintaining no loyalty to one who was so openly racist towards them earlier. Sorry. Lost my place. Yep. Suddenly outnumbered, Reaper and Nekra make an attempt to split up and escape, leaving the rest of the Avengers to deal with Goliath and Ultron. Vision and Wonder Man take off to pursue the Lethal Legion's mastermind. On their way through an underground cavern, the two manifestations of Simon Williams have time to bond and help Wonder Man get over his fears. Wonder Man comes to understand the Vision and accept him as a brother. When they catch up to and corner Reaper over a deep crevasse, Vision confronts the raving villain with what he learned from his mother, that it was Eric that stole the money that Simon took the blame for. Reaper admits it, but Wonder Man denies it. Simon was guilty of stealing the money and ruining his own company, and Eric just didn't want that spoiling the memory of his good and pure perfect brother. Realizing that if Wonder Man knows this, he must really be Simon and not an imitation. The Grim Reaper can't come to grips with how he's been trying to kill his own brother and runs, slipping into the crevasse where he disappears. Afterwards, Goliath is captured, but Ultron and the rest of the Lethal Legion have all escaped their separate ways. As Vision leaves with his wife, he tells her how his experiences that day have got him thinking about family and asks her what she thinks about having a baby.
Ooh.
I've read the part where they get pregnant. There's some magic involved. It's not just, oh, hey.
Yeah, there was some different hex spheres involved in that conception.
Hex spheres.
Couple of balls down the gob.
I wanted someone to be like, Vision, we're gonna have to have a little talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain process involved. You may not be able to fully transaction. You may not be fully able to transact. Yeah.
Rumpy pumpy.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that was so weird in the comic books because I mean, I get that, and I understood even back then. I was like, okay, so he's explained he's not an android, he's not a robot, he's a synthezoid, which is like supposed to mimic a human being in organic function as well. But then I was thinking, well, I mean, he doesn't bleed, right? Like he doesn't have blood. Like,
I don't.
He doesn't have.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so he doesn't have fluids. Like
I know he can control his density.
The hard master.
But he's Spider-Man with no web shooter, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Trying to keep that as family friendly as I can, but yeah, you know?
I still don't know how people were like, oh,
or he has
totally
web shooter and no web fluid, you know?
Right. The tank's empty, as the case may be.
I don't think there's ever anything in the tank, you know?
Yeah, it's not designed for that.
I'm starting to think this
Oh.
this Scarlet Witch was another little Hellfire, man. She didn't want the mess, you know.
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels.
I mean, that Scarlet Witch in this era was living the little Hellfire dream, you know. The artificial man, it could
Yeah.
control his density, and there's no sloppy cleanup, you know.
Never got tired. Doesn't need any rest. I mean, come on, that's perfect.
Very hard, very tempting.
The hard master.
The hard master. It's just a really nice package. The big bazooka. A big unit.
Maximum density.
Oh my! There's a drop. Oh my!
Well, that escalated quickly. It's so salty.
All right, Justin. Any thoughts? Your thoughts on this story?
I love the fight in the beginning. I mean, that was a great lead-in.
Yes.
From the other issue, you've got Tigra out on the wing.
Midair fight, yeah.
Midair fight. She's smashing that robot and gripping onto the wing with her feet. It's great. It still kind of makes me laugh, though. There's that one panel where Iron Man's on the outside. He's trying to like kind of right the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Quinjet crashes, and there's that one panel, and you see poor Iron Man like still hanging on to the outside. And as the Quinjet crashes, he like he smacks into a boulder or something and gets knocked out. Oh God, things aren't going so well for poor Iron Man today.
No.
Ew. Yeah. The whole sequence with Simon and the Vision still to me is kind of weird, where they're having this heart-to-heart and we're brothers and all that. I still think that's kind of strange because they're really not brothers, and they're the kind of the same guy. You know what I mean? It's not like being twin brothers. It's the same dude.
It's basically like Peter Parker and Ben Reilly in the 90s. It's like, you know,
right.
It's like, I mean, they were even worse. They looked alike, but it's like, yeah, you have the same exact memories as this guy, and yeah.
Yeah, but they never once called each other brothers, right?
Well, they kind of acted like it, but I mean,
oh, well, I guess. I mean, I guess you could apply that logic to this, but
I don't know.
I always thought it was kind of weird. I was like, well, they're not brothers; they're the same dude. Like they've got the same memories. It's not brothers. It's I don't know. And the Lethal Legion, like the whole breakup of the Lethal Legion, I think is still kind of funny. Like all of a sudden, M'Baku and the Talon are taken off with the zombies. Like, see ya.
Exactly.
You racist piece of crap. Have fun with getting your ass handed to you by the Avengers.
That's so funny. Just like Iron Man and Wonder Man, just like double teaming Ultron.
Yeah, and Hank Pym and Tigra all over Nekra.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving her the business. But she grabs them both and flings them away. Yeah, I was reminded of how badass Nekra is. She's a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
I always really liked her. Yeah. I didn't like the way that she was treated later on in this series, which we'll eventually get to. But I always thought that was a really poor way to end this character. But we'll save that for a future discussion. That's the Reaper and the Robot story, which comes a few years later.
And I love how the man with belt jets doesn't even attempt to fly after his brother when he falls off the cliff.
or the Vision, who can fly too. Like,
exactly.
Neither one of them make an attempt. They're like, the hell with it.
The dude's boot has barely left the surface, and they're like, no, in their heads and stuff. It's like
they look away.
Could have tried.
Yeah. I guess they're looking away in shame rather than disgust.
Well, they both yell Eric. It's like, what? Like he can reverse his fall?
Well, technically, I think he could have. I remember seeing that blade hand of his spinning around like a helicopter blade a couple of times in his old appearances, and he used to fly around that way. So he could have technically reversed that if he wanted to, but
I mean, I guess you are tempting fate when you dress, call yourself the Grim Reaper.
yeah. Yeah. I always thought it would have been hilarious if he tripped and fell on his own blade and accidentally impaled himself on it.
Oh, that would have been funny if like Man or someone killed him.
Yeah. Pushed him off the cliff.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That would have been great if they were like lurking around the corner listening to this whole heart to heart between the Grim Reaper and the Vision and Wonder Man, and they're listening to it, and then all of a sudden, as the Grim Reaper's running away, they just kind of trip him, stick a foot out. He trips and falls to his death.
Or you know what else? I mean, not even an intentional like murder, but it's like if something happened where like the consequences of his racism like kill him.
Yes.
Yeah. That would have been. I would have
That
liked
would
that.
have been great. Yeah, that would have been really good.
Or maybe if he'd been hanging off the cliff and the only one who could have saved him was Man-Ape, but he's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to touch you, you dirty, and this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he could have been hanging from like one of those lower cliff levels or something down below. Yeah. Yeah. That would have been cool, yeah. I also thought it was weird that they had a zombie Simon Williams. He goes, I searched many years for it. A body whose resemblance to Simon's was so marked that only minor plastic surgery would be needed. Really?
Yeah, because the whole plot was he was going to take what was like similar in the Vision and Wonder Man's head, so that must be pure Simon Williams, and pump it into that zombie. But yeah, that's always weird. It's always like, why? I'm trying to remember if they explained it in earlier issues. Why didn't the Grim Reaper like believe that Wonder Man was his brother?
Yeah, I mean, he's seen one of his allies that works with zombies, so he's obviously seen people come back from the dead. Why couldn't he believe that his own brother could come back from the dead and be the same guy?
Well, one, I mean, I guess maybe he was just in denial, and two, I mean, he doesn't seem to be the brightest bulb in the shed, that racist piece of crap.
Well, that is true. You're right about that. That is true. He should have let Ultron do the majority of the thinking for the Lethal Legion. I think that the outcome would have been much different.
And I mean, I know he was probably doing it to serve his own ends, but it's always weird when Ultron works with humans.
I know, yeah. Especially ones like the Grim Reaper, that he's obviously missing some screws in his head.
Well, I guess the enemy of my enemy. Although I think was it Ultron 12 who was like the more laid back one almost?
Was it? Oh.
There was one who seemed like it wasn't as murderous.
Oh, was it the one that Daredevil faced during the acts of vengeance?
No, that was Ultron 13 because like Doom rebuilds him. He's all messed up in the head. Yeah.
He was like a child,
I'm pretty sure it was either 11 or 12 was like more like a laid back Ultron kind of.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think he wanted to destroy all humans. Maybe just
yes, and he fought the other Ultron, right? Didn't they fight each other?
I think so. Yeah.
It's in one of these issues, I think, in the first year of this.
That's what I'm saying. It was either 11 or 12, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. I loved that one. That was cool because it was like, what if Ultron could turn good?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a great one. Yeah, we'll have to cover all those. I love the West Coast Avengers.
Oh, yeah, I definitely want to get back to more West Coast Avengers. Yeah.
And there was that great Lost in Time story where they all go back in time to ancient Egypt. and this Dominus and all those weird mutants and things. Yeah,
Oh,
great
yeah.
great stuff.
Well, there's another era too. We can maybe hook Ray. I mean, not only is Tiger in the book, but also Moon Knight,
Oh yeah, definitely. There's some prime Moon Knight in this stuff.
the High Priest of Conchu, aka the High Priest of Sausage.
The Hard Master.
Sausage. The hard master. What's on the mind?
Oh, Ray.
Go ahead, throw it in.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
No, I think we covered all the highlights of this great story. Yeah, I would recommend anybody that isn't really familiar with the West Coast Avengers that has a passing interest to definitely check out these issues on the app or seek them out.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great classic Marvel stuff from Steve Englehart and Al Milgrom and a bunch of other talented artists and inkers. So good. And we've got some great characters here, some great Avengers, some great villains, good old-fashioned superheroes versus supervillain stuff, but with a little bit of depth and complexity to it, which is always nice. And the whole story ties up really well without a lot of dangling loose ends all over the place.
Yeah, it is a good story. And again, it's a great jumping on point because it is issue 1 of both series. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And you will see the Vision and the Scarlet Witch appear in the West Coast Avengers very quickly after this. They basically become members of the group within the first couple of years of the title.
And then Byrne gets their hands on him.
Yeah, and then things get really crazy. Oh man, yeah, we'll cover that eventually too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah.
Oh,
remember all the
man.
characterization and stuff we've pumped into this relationship over all these years? It's gone.
Yeah, the hell with it.
Just erased it.
Oh man, people were mad. I remember reading those letters columns when he did that, and people were mad. Oh, if there was a Twitter back then, that would have been aflame with vitriol and hate towards John Byrne about what he did to the Vision.
Remember when the Vision was the original Human Torch? Nah.
Nah. Oh, I know. We'll eventually get there too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna cover all that, kids. But next time, again, it's gonna be the last episode of September already. Because yes, the last week you only get one Marvel Tales because Ray and Dave will be back to do the Scarlet Spider episode. So yes, last week of September already. Yes, we're gonna do the Mighty Thor 433 through 436.
Yes, which were Phil's picks, and I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Eric Masterson, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Then it'll be October. Yeah, well, then we have all kinds of stuff for you, like Ghost Rider, Hellstorm, and a 2-part Man-Thing.
Yeah, 2 episodes of Man-Thing.
That's right. Picked for you by the Man-Thing expert himself.
Giant size Man-Thing.
That's right. I'm happy that all 12 of those issues are on Marvel Unlimited. That's very nice.
Are they?
Yeah. I looked the other day just to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They must have added this because I swear a while ago I looked. I didn't think they had Comics Presents on there, but maybe they do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have some of those, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, they were all on there.
Marvel. Oh, okay. They do have some Marvel Comics Presents on here.
I don't think that they have the entire run.
No, they only have. It says 93 issues. Yeah,
but they've got a chunk of them.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like they do have the at least those first 12 we're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Marvel Comics Presents, kids. You'll know it by every single. Well, not every single, but the majority of the covers with Wolverine on.
Yes. Yeah. For a while, that was another Wolverine book.
Although eventually they get to the point where they do like, you ever see where they started doing it as like a flip book or like half.
Yes.
So it was like one cover every issue. It was Wolverine was on one side and Ghost Rider was on the other.
More Ghost Rider every month.
Early 90s kids.
Yeah. They're riding high.
Oh, that's what I told Lilith. There a while back, a few months back. Oh no, maybe last year. I got some more. I was picking all the Marvel Comics Presents I could find out of back issue bins.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what issue it was, but I actually was it 68 or something. It was I think it might have been in the 60s, but no, it was like the actual first appearance of 90s Ghost Rider. Wolverine met 90s Ghost Rider for the first time. So what do you think? What do you think the first thing they did was early 90s? What do you think the first thing they did? Fight.
Fight, yeah, absolutely. For the whole story.
At least that issue, yeah. Because the hand was involved, and Ghost Rider thought Wolverine was working for the hand.
Well, naturally, yeah. Why wouldn't the hand have an assassin with claws? I guess, right?
Yep. All right, so yes, Mighty Thor next time. I can't wait for that, and then all that. So yes, like I said, Ghost Rider, Hellstorm, and that 2-part Man Thing in October. So
send in your thoughts.
Please send in your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Again, you can hear all the Heroes Reborn being discussed by very drunken Lil Hellfire. So find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right. And now to this Justin, who appears here on Marvel Tales at least once a week, if not more. At least once a month on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast,
Ray's favorite show, and of course now twice a month with me and Tyler and Mr. James Cool, Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast.
Yeah.
But again, this man is taking over podcasting, so that is not enough for him. So, yes, Justin, where else can these people find you?
In addition to those shows, you can also find me on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where twice a month, me and Russell talk about the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk as well. We also have a Patreon page, so do check us out if you're so inclined. We have bonus episodes every month. And in October, we're doing 2, actually, for Spooky Month. Also, Russell and I have reactivated another show that we did last year, but we actually didn't finish, but we're restarting it. Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we're going back to cover DC's Demon from his very first appearance in 1973. And we're super excited about starting that again. I love the Demon. And in addition to those 2 shows, we also have Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast. We're joined by Ray and Sparky on that. And twice a month there, we talk about everything to do with Fox's Predator in comic books, movies, action figures, video games, and more. And the Lost Library of Legends, you know the drill.
Next month.
That's right.
Perpetually next month.
Yes. Next month for infinity and beyond.
That should be the tagline. Yeah, it's perpetually coming next month.
Yeah. Coming next month to an infinity near you.
He's kind of busy, kids.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. It's biscuit season.
I have a feeling there was something involving green eggs and ham, but not the way you think. Thank you for joining us, kids. Again, next time, the Mighty Thor 433 through 436, Eric Masterson. Oh, tell Russell I expect that when you guys do the Etrigan podcast, every time when he does the intro, he has to rhyme.
Oh.
I want to hear a rhyme.
Yeah, we're still working on, I think, an outro for that.
Oh, nice.
So maybe we'll add that into that too. Yeah.
All right, kids, come back next time. Don't be racist.